Hello. In this video, I'm going to try to make my case as to why I think the market's going to go up a lot tomorrow on Friday. I'm making this video around before the Friday opens tomorrow, and so let's just get right into it. There's about three reasons why what four reasons why I think the market's going to go up a lot tomorrow. The first reason is the put call ratio. So what happened at around 2:30 p.m. Eastern time today is that the put call ratio just skyrocketed. I mean, it went from 0.78 to 0.92 within a period of about 1.5 hours, and that's tremendous. Like, it's never done this in the whole year. Like, for it to go up this much is a huge amount of puts being bought, and at the same time shorts being opened into the market of whatever stock that they're talking about. Um, first of all, let me this green and red line, these candles are the put call ratio, and this pink thing is the S&P 500. And you can access the put call ratio by putting PC all, a dollar sign PC all, and you'll be able to see it. And see the when the put call ratio at the beginning of the day moves a lot, it doesn't mean anything because there's not a lot of puts and calls put into the system. So you can add a small amount of put or calls, and it'll move the whole ratio a lot. But when you get to the end of the day, you have to add a huge amount of puts in order to make this put call ratio go up this much. And so the fact that it's gone up this much, and the fact that the market at 2:30 didn't go down, it didn't go down. Instead, it just went up. Shows how strong the market is. Despite all these shorts being put into the market doesn't go down. It just keeps going up. So that means that in order for, let's say tomorrow opens and more shorts come in, is it going to push the market down? Because like for the you already tried putting all these shorts into the market. You already tried putting this much amount of shorts into the market, and the market still wouldn't go down. So that shows how strong the market is. Okay, so I think so. That's the first reason. The second reason is that there's some similarities as to what's happening right now compared to what happened about a year and a half ago on the Spice Daily. What's happening right now on the Spice intraday? On the Spice intraday, this is the 15-minute chart, and what's happening right now on the Spice intraday looks a lot like what's happening on the Spice Daily. We had this big sell off on the SPY. The volume went up higher, and then we're bouncing. We bounced a little, and then we come back and try to sell off again, and the volume tries to go up higher again. And what I have to mention is that, first of all markets, when they are naturally supposed to go up, because whenever they go down, what happens is that the sellers who sell during the process of going down, they become future buyers at some point in the future, And so what happens is when there's a sell off, there always what happens is a buyer wall forms. There's a wall of buyers that prevents the stock from price from going down, and this happens in all whenever the market dips. This is what happens. I mean, let me show you. Like whenever the market dips, a buyer wall forms. Whenever it dips, a buyer wall. This one's not that good, but whenever it dips, a buyer wall forms. Even in bear markets, a even stronger buyer wall forms. See, look at that. It dips, a buyer wall forms. When it dips, a buyer wall forms. Dips, buyer wall forms. Dips, buyer wall forms. Dips, buyer wall forms. And whenever the buyer wall forms, this they prevent the market from going lower, so that way it can continue going up. So I see some similarities right now. Huh. So so I see some similarities. Look at how what's happening right now to the spy looks a lot like what's happening to the spy on the daily chart when it created a what happened. It sold off, buyer walls formed, and then it went back up, and then it came down again at a and exhausted itself, and then a small buyer wall formed before it went up a lot. And look at what's happening right now in the SPY's 15 minute. We went down a lot. Buyer's wall forms. Then we went up, and then we came back down, and a smaller buyer wall formed. So I think what we're gonna see is we're gonna go blast off. And there's another something else that's going on as well. There's another similarity, exactly similar to that situation. We went down, the put call ratio went up, the 10-day moving single moving average of the put call ratio went up, and then we went down again, the put call ratio went up again, and then we blasted off for the rest of the year. And look at what's happening. Look at what's happening on the 5 minute of the SPY. We went down, the put call ratios went up, then we went up again, then we came back down, the put call ratio went extremely up, and so I think what's gonna happen is that we're gonna blast off. So that's what I think. That's another similarity I see, especially with the fact that the market when it went down, it hit some. It tried to go down, but it exhausted itself, and even amidst all this, uh, amidst among all this ambient buyer walls. Look at how many buyer walls are we have right here. We have so much buyer wall as the market went down, and then we try to go down again, and then we had a slightly smaller buyer wall, but it's still a buyer wall. So I think what's happening is that it's exhausting itself. It's going down. It's the sentiment is trying to go down. The sentiment is very bad, but there's no more sellers, and that's why it's exhausting all the sellers before we go straight up. Huh? Yeah, that's what I want to say. Okay. Um, and there's a third thing, and that is the VIX. Look at the this is the daily chart of the SPY and the VIX. The VIX is going down too much. I mean, look at when the SPY went down like this, the VIX went up like this, and the VIX is the fear index. So the fear went through the roof, but now it's coming back down too much. And that what that does is that all the people who got scared right here, they left the market. But since the fear index has gone down this much, since the fear index has gone down this much, all these people who got scared right here, they're coming back into the market. So I think based on what the VIX is doing, how much it's going, how lower it's going, there's a lot of buyers ready to come in and push this market up again. And the one last thing I want to show you is what is it? Oh yeah. Okay. There there seems to be this is a 1 minute chart of the SPY, and it looks like we're doing a head and shoulder. We're doing an inverse head and shoulder. Head, left shoulder, right shoulder, and uh, an inverse head and shoulder is a very bullish pattern because it means that the sellers are exhausting. And once the sellers exhaust, then we just go straight up. The only thing I don't like, there's actually two things I don't like about what's happening to the SPY right now. And the first thing is that we had a upward to downward sentiment change head and shoulder. We had a left shoulder, head, and very right valid two right shoulders on low volume, and that resulted in a big sell-off as sentiment changed from up to down. That's what I don't like. And the second thing I don't like, what was the second thing? I don't even know what the second thing was. What was the second thing? Oh yeah, the second thing is that tomorrow on Friday, it's gonna be option expiration, and I don't know how to use that knowledge to. I don't know how options expiration on which is the third Friday of every month. I don't know how that's gonna impact the market, but if we just get rid of all this stuff and ignore the option expiration, I'm willing to bet pretty severely that the market is gonna go up a lot tomorrow. Like I think we can go up like 4% at least. I mean, this is the daily chart of the SPY. I think we could actually hit 480 tomorrow because of how severe the put call ratio was at the end of the day today, and how it looks like we're exhausting downward. We're trying to move downward. We're exhausting ourselves, and so sentiment will. Once we finish this exhaustion, sentiment will flip from bear to bull, and we'll go back up again, and push all these buyers to come into the market. So that's the things I'm looking at that makes me think the market will go up tomorrow on Friday. And the reason I think we're exhausting ourselves is how we try to go down, but the volume is not that super high. At least not compared to this, this, or this. So that's what I think is happening.